Something opened up in your destiny, and what's coming can't be ignored. Do you feel presences that you can't explain? Have you dreamed of someone who has already departed? Does your energy change right at 3 a.m.? A revelation is activated in your ancestral line. Dolores Cannon predicted it. Those who are no longer here return at key moments. And this time, they bring an urgent warning. Baba Vanga also saw this cycle open up for those born under the vibration of TOURO. But there is one word, a single one, that will change everything. Are you ready to listen to it? Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, with no memory of what just happened? Do you sometimes feel that someone is watching over you, or perhaps watching through you? Why is it that lately even the ticking of a clock sounds like an omen? Taurus, your life is no longer as quiet as it used to be. Before we continue, Taurus, take a sacred pause. If you've felt chills, a strange familiarity, or a pull in your spirit while listening, it's not random. That means this message was meant for you, so don't let it pass in silence. Subscribe now and leave a comment with the moment that spoke to your soul the most. This space is not just a video, it's a portal, and your presence here matters more than you know. There's something in the air, a current, a frequency, that's trying to break through the routine of your days. But it doesn't come with thunder, it comes in stillness, in signs. And if you're reading this, it means you've already received the first one. This message isn't a coincidence. It's not just another piece of content in the endless stream of your timeline. No, Taurus, this is a spiritual summoning, a crossing of timelines, ancestral agreements, and cosmic activations meant only for those with the soul to listen. And among all the signs of the zodiac, yours holds one of the oldest contracts. Because yours, Taurus, is the soul that resists, and now the soul that must remember. In the invisible corridors between life and death, someone has been trying to reach you, someone whose blood still pulses within your body. A protector, a guide, a voice that once whispered your name with love, and now roars it through the winds of the unseen. It is your grandfather, and he is not just visiting, he is returning with a warning. The last time he came to you, you called it a dream. That smell of tobacco, the sound of his laughter echoing in a place you've never been, or the way the lamp flickered precisely at 3:17 a.m. 3 nights in a row. You didn't imagine it, you were summoned. Saturn and Pluto are now engaged in a rare celestial alignment, one that hasn't occurred in this form for decades. According to ancient mystics, this is called La Puerta del Alma, the gate of the soul. It is through this energetic portal that ancestral spirits send their final instructions before fate shifts. Dolores Cannon called it a karmic activation. Baba Vanga saw it as a countdown. She once predicted that when Pluto opposes the sun sign of Taurus during an Earth cycle marked by silent awakenings, the bones will remember what the mind has forgotten. And here we are. Your grandfather's voice is rising now, through your bones, through the ache in your chest, through the dreams you don't talk about because they feel too real. He's asking you to listen, not with your ears, but with your inheritance. That sacred intuition that lives deep in your belly, the one you usually silence with reason. But this time, reason is the very thing that could betray you. Why now? Why this message? Why you? Because there is a karmic decision approaching, one that, if misaligned, could lock your soul into another cycle of waiting, one that could repeat the pain your grandfather tried so hard to prevent in his own time. He saw the trap, he fell into it. He's now doing what few souls have permission to do, intervene. And Taurus, this isn't a call for fear. This is your soul's activation. The very gift you thought was just being too sensitive. It's your compass now, your radar, your bridge. Do not underestimate the tightness in your chest, the ringing in your ears, or the sudden emotion that wells up at odd times. Those are not moods, they are transmissions. Your spirit is being tuned. Pause for a moment, Taurus. If these words stirred something within you, a memory, a tear, a chill, then anchor this energy with your intention. Write this in the comments now. I carry the voice of my blood. I awaken what was hidden. I protect what must live. Let this decree echo in the unseen. Let your ancestors know you received the call. Feel the vibration as you write it, for the universe is already listening, and your grandfather is watching. Why have you always felt like you were carrying more than just your own emotions? Why do certain places exhaust you without reason? Or certain people cause your skin to hum with warning? Taurus, you weren't imagining it, you were inheriting it. There is a sacred weight moving through your lineage, one that doesn't begin with you, but may very well end with you. Your grandfather knew this. He carried part of it quietly, bravely, and often without understanding why he was drawn to silence, to the stars, to solitude. But now that cosmic alignment has reopened what he couldn't finish in his lifetime. The burden and the blessing have passed to you. You may not remember asking for this role, Taurus, but your soul does. Baba Vanga once channeled a message about Taurus in particular, that when the time of reckoning would arrive for the earth-born souls, it would be the Taurus heart that would beat loudest against the gate of fate, that a Taurus would be the root keeper and the breaker of patterns. And now your roots are shaking. This is why your relationships feel different lately, why the people who once comforted you now feel distant, or why your body no longer tolerates certain spaces, foods, or conversations. Your frequency has shifted, not because you asked for it, but because your soul activated what your bloodline had long buried. Taurus, do you understand? You are not being punished, you are being awakened. The patterns you're experiencing, déjà vus, dreams of your grandfather standing behind an unseen door, the sudden urge to throw away objects or reconnect with the past, these are keys. And there is a door, a karmic door that has not been opened for generations. This door leads to liberation, but it is guarded by a truth, one that your grandfather could never speak aloud in his time. It is a truth that frightened him, and yet he now sees that you are strong enough to hear it. And more than that, to live it. So what is this truth? It is the knowledge that you come from a line not only of survivors, but of guardians. Your ancestors did not just endure tragedy, they absorbed it, silently, with dignity, with pain they never vocalized. They kept the family together by holding in what would have broken most. But Taurus, that strategy must end now. You are not meant to hold it in. You are meant to transmute it, and in doing so, you will not betray them, you will free them. You felt it, haven't you? That sacred rage that rises when someone disrespects your boundaries, the tenderness that floods your chest when you see injustice, the trembling in your hands when you feel the echo of something ancient, unspoken, unresolved. These are your indicators. Your spirit is sounding the alarm, not of danger, but of readiness. Your grandfather is not the only one watching. There are others, faces you may not know, but who know you. You were the one they whispered about in the ether, the one who will know when it's time, and that time is now. Questions to deepen the journey. Who in your family line was never allowed to speak their truth? What ancestral dream was abandoned before it could bloom? What gifts do you carry that you've always thought were too much? Ask them. Let the answers come not from thought, but from the current that lives behind your ribs. What if the message you've been waiting for was the very thing they were afraid to tell you? Taurus, let's speak plainly now. Your grandfather did not live a simple life, even if his silence made it seem so. He knew of things, secrets, betrayals, unfinished cycles, that weighed upon him more than he ever confessed, and some of them weren't his to carry. They were inherited, passed down like an invisible chain, wrapped around the ankles of the firstborns and the empaths. He didn't speak of them to protect you, but his silence, once sacred, now threatens your path forward, because when unspoken truths remain buried too long, they begin to echo, in the body, in the blood, in the bones. Baba Vanga, in one of her lesser-known writings, warned, "There will come a child of the earth, born of the sign that resists, and they will carry a name or a mark that binds them to the pain of the unspoken. But if they dare to speak what was silenced, they will free not only themselves, but 7 generations behind and 7 more to come." Taurus, That child is you, and the truth your grandfather brings is not about something outside of you. It's about you, about your calling, about your soul's true role in this lifetime. He comes with a revelation. You are the breaker of the oath. An ancient agreement was made between souls in your lineage. It was made in desperation, out of love, out of survival, but it has become a prison, and it's been passed to you unknowingly, like a whispered curse disguised as a blessing. You know it, you felt it, in the moments where every step forward feels mysteriously blocked, in the way abundance slips through your fingers at the last second, in the repeating patterns of betrayal, silence, and loneliness that make no sense in your current reality. Taurus, if you're still here, it means your spirit is listening and your ancestors are watching. Now is the moment to deepen your commitment. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss another transmission that was crafted just for you, and leave a comment below. What part of this journey has opened something new in you? Your voice is not just an echo, it activates the grid. Be part of the collective awakening. These aren't coincidences. They are codes written in the spiritual DNA of your bloodline. And your grandfather from beyond the veil has made a decision that defies most karmic rules. He is breaking the silence. He has shown me a vision, a red thread wrapped around your left wrist in the spirit world. This thread connects you to a vow made long ago, a vow to protect, to endure, to stay even when it harms, to carry even what is not yours. But the time for that vow is over. You no longer need to keep promises made by ancestors who were operating in fear. You no longer need to be loyal to pain in order to feel worthy of love. Your loyalty now must be to your healing, not to your inherited suffering. This is the message your grandfather couldn't say in life, but in spirit he offers you one word, one that holds the power to sever the oath: enough. This word, simple and ancient, echoes through dimensions. It is not said in anger, but in divine finality. When you speak it with awareness, with soul, with full presence, the oath unravels. Ritual action, claim your release. Taurus, if this message has stirred something within you, if your heart is pounding, your breath caught, your tears rising, then do not let it pass unnoticed. Take a moment now, place your hand on your chest, and speak this out loud. I release the oath that does not belong to me. I am free to choose my joy, my path, my light. This is how you cut the thread. This is how you tell the spirits, I heard you, I honor you, but I no longer carry what dims my soul. Taurus, now that the thread is broken, do you feel it? That slight shift in the air. The breath that suddenly feels deeper, the pressure behind your eyes, slowly softening. This isn't just relief, it's the beginning, for when a sacred oath is dissolved, the soul doesn't return to what it was. It expands, it upgrades, it steps forward as a new archetype. And that is what you're stepping into now. You are no longer simply the holder of ancestral burdens. You are the rewriter of ancestral codes. Your grandfather smiles now, not with sorrow, but with awe, because he sees what's coming for you, what your release is allowing in. The pain is no longer the compass, your peace is. And when peace becomes your north, Taurus, the world will realign to mirror it. But beware, the path ahead is not paved with the old logic. You will need new tools. And they are not external. They are within you. Baba Vanga once said, "The one who turns inward after the break of silence will find the map in their own marrow." She believed, especially for Taurus, that the body holds the imprint of divine direction, and that only those who dare to feel will ever truly be free. So how do you begin to read that map? You follow the pulse of what feels alive, not what is expected, not what is comfortable, but what makes your breath catch in surprise. What ignites the warmth in your chest? This is the frequency of alignment. It will show up in subtle ways, a new friendship that feels strangely familiar, an invitation that sparks your curiosity even if it scares you, a book, a place, a voice, anything that resonates like you've known it before. These are not coincidences, they are breadcrumbs, signs from the future self your grandfather knows you can become. He has shown me your path now, not a straight line, but a spiral. One that leads higher with each return, not to the same wound, but to a deeper truth. Because Taurus, now that you've said enough, the world is preparing to offer you more. More love, not conditional, not earned, but true. More opportunity, not forced, but flowing. More self-respect, not as armor, but as embodiment. The people who once drained you may try to return, but they will find you different. You will feel it too. What once hooked into your energy now simply slides off. What once triggered your defense now activates your discernment. You're not closing your heart, you're cleansing your field. This is spiritual maturity. And your grandfather, he blesses it, he protects it, and he asks only one thing now, that you do not turn back. Soul questions, prepare for your new era. What does your body crave now that your spirit is free? Who do you become when no longer defined by what hurt you? What joy have you delayed? Waiting for permission. Taurus, permission is here. Not from the world, not from a system, but from your bloodline. The line you've just transmuted. Taurus, what if I told you that every moment of hardship, every silence you endured, every unexplainable emotion that passed through you like a ghost was part of a sacred training, not a punishment, not karma in the sense the world fears, but preparation. Your soul was chosen to walk through the darkened hallways of your ancestry so that you would be the first to emerge holding the torch. And now that you've spoken the word, now that you've broken the thread, that torch is lit. And what was once your burden is now your weapon of light. Your grandfather watches this with reverence, not with sorrow, because in you he sees what he hoped he could become. In you he sees the future his generation never had. And now, Taurus, the question is no longer, what was I carrying, but what do I choose to build with free hands? Because that's what this next chapter is, a construction of a life designed by you, not by the echoes of pain, not by the guilt of survival, not by loyalty to outdated patterns, but by love, clarity, alignment. Your gifts, Taurus, the ones you doubted, the ones they told you were too much, are the exact ones this new era requires. Your grounded presence, your ability to sense what others overlook, your deep loyalty, not to trauma, but to truth. Baba Vanga foresaw that Taurus would become a guidepost during the age of divided spirits. She wrote that the Taurian soul would one day anchor heaven to earth through their voice, their body, their art. This is not a metaphor, it is prophecy, and the prophecy is already unfolding. You will begin to see your world respond. People you never expected will seek your calm. Dreams that once felt impossible will begin to call your name. Time will shift, synchronicities will multiply, and the pain that once haunted you will now become the language of your medicine. Your presence, Taurus, is a portal, not just for yourself, but for your family, your community. Even those who have never met you will feel your frequency and recognize home, because when you heal, the world heals with you. When you walk in truth, the ancestors dance behind you. And when you love yourself fiercely, you give permission to the entire bloodline to rise with you. Final ancestral invitation. Share the deed. Taurus, your grandfather's message has been delivered. But the story isn't complete until you claim it out loud. Right now, in the sacred comment space, I invite you to write this. I am the first in my line to rise in freedom. I walk in truth. I carry the light forward. Write it, not just for you, but for the ones who couldn't. For the ones still watching, and for the ones who will come after you. Let this final decree anchor your transformation. Let it ripple through your future. Let it echo back to your grandfather as a sign that you received the word that rewrote everything. Your legacy begins now, Taurus. Walk with power, walk with peace, walk with purpose. And remember, you are no longer the echo. You are the voice. If this message reached into your soul today, don't let it dissolve into silence. Subscribe now to stay connected to transmissions that honor your truth, your healing, and your legacy. And share in the comments, what part of your ancestral chain are you choosing to rewrite today? Your words may be the light someone else was praying for. Let's awaken together, one truth at a time.